My name's Eric Morgan, and I'm with Organic Approach. Right now, today, we have a nice messy table. That's intentional. But we're going to talk about a product called 904. The product branding is actually NTrust. So capital N hyphen and the word trust. So the capital N, for all of those of you who have that agronomic training, that's nitrogen. So that's the letter for nitrogen. So NTrust. Nitrogen trust. Why would we call this product NTrust? Nitrogen Trust 904. The reason we do is because for organic fertilizers, 9 is a relatively high number for a certified organic. It's a relatively high number. There aren't too many more higher than that unless you're using like Chilean nitrate or some proteinaceous types of nitrogen sourcing. But generally 9's pretty good in terms of these types of products, certified organic. The reason that we call this NTrust is because that 9% could be fairly leachable if it were fairly soluble. This particular product is almost completely insoluble. So one would say, well then I'm a turf guy, what use is that to me? Well, it's of use to you because it's going to last a lot longer than that soluble fertilizer that you're applying. So you go out with that soluble fertilizer, and soluble kind of is akin to unstable, unless you're talking about humic and fulvic acid molecules. That's a whole nother thing. Go to the Humate page and listen to those videos or that video, and you'll learn all about that. But when you're talking about fertilizers and you're talking about solubility, that usually means that you're going to get leaching capacity or leachate. It might run off of a farmer's field in a torrential downpour if there's not enough vegetation on that field. And it definitely can volatilize into the atmosphere as an ammonia nitrate or what have you. So this product is very, very insoluble. Well, how does it work then? If it's not soluble, can it really help me grow my crop? In this case, maybe turf grass, or maybe you're using 904 for that elevated nitrogen because you happen to grow sweet corn and you want to put down a higher dose of N at knee high because you want that shot of growth, okay? If you're doing that with this product, you might want to do it at shin high, because by the time it starts coming available, which we'll talk about in a minute, it'll kick in at about knee high, all right? But I digress. So this product is a granular product. It's on the table for you to see. It's one of our best granulars because of the ingredients that are in it. It is, it's just glues together better. So what's nice about that is if you spread the product and you're behind a spreader all day long every day, or your team members are, and you just don't want them like breathing dust and all that sort of thing, this is a real good product. You know, you can see how it kind of bounces around. That means, you know, there's not a lot of dust in it, and when I'm done pushing it off this bag, you don't see a lot of dust behind. I mean, it's not there. So it's a low dust product. So it's nice to spread. If somebody over applies it, as someone just said to me moments ago, well, let's be careful not to dump this on the turf. You know, it's a 10 pound per thousand product. If it were a more soluble product, I would be more concerned about burning the turf with it. And a fertilizer burn is a whole nother discussion. But this product is so insoluble that, you know, if you overlap your spreader patterns accidentally too much, you're going to be pretty darn safe with this. I mean, you can go out with this in the middle of summer, okay? on shortcut turf. If it's irrigated, that's fine, because the beauty of this is it's not soluble. So on irrigated turf, if you have irrigated turf, this puppy dog's going to last a long time, because it's not going to leach, it's not going to volatilize, it's not going to run off right away from the irrigation. This is nice and stable, okay? You're going to hear me say stable a lot when we watch these videos, because I don't want volatile, I want stable, okay? Stable means it's going to work for you longer. But this 904, there's kind of the unique attributes I've discussed with you, which is that low dust, stable form of nitrogen, long-lasting green up if you want the green up from the product. But there's another important attribute to this particular product, and you will hear me repeat this over and over in a lot of videos. I'm putting products together to benefit fungal biomass, to grow out fungal biomass. I may have said it before, but you can spit on the ground and it'll be enveloped with bacteria, you know, all but instantly. The spit, the saliva. But you can't grow fungal biomass readily and quickly. And what all these higher plants, so to speak, need, like a tree or a shrub or this shrub here, any of those woody ornamentals you see behind me, they need higher levels of fungal biomass. If you have an ornamental grass, they're cut back right now, they really need like a 1-to-1 fungal to bacterial ratio. But as you get to this Serbian spruce, which is kind of like trying to figure out how it's going to grow, it's supposed to have a really nice central leader, but that's another story. But that Serbian spruce really prefers to have a fungal to bacterial ratio of like anywhere from 7-to-1 fungal to bacterial or 11-to-1 fungal to bacterial. So when you go into a coniferous evergreen forest, the soil, after all those years of that forest establishing and growing there, that fungal dominance is up like 10-to-1. Higher fungal biomass supports some of these higher level plants, okay? When you get into turf grass, if you have like a good 1-to-1 fungal to bacterial ratio, that's often kind of like the so-called sweet spot. I actually like to drive it more fungal than that, because I've found that the more fungal I drive the soil under turf grass, the fewer weeds I have. That's a really important thing. If you're trying to do things in an environmentally sensitive manner, in a manner that reduces the use of pesticides, which includes, under the pesticide umbrella, herbicides. It can be miticides, fungicides, you know, insecticides, you name it, algicides. But herbicides is one of those under the umbrella of pesticides. If you're trying to reduce pesticides, herbicides being one of them, then, you know, I was just actually speaking with the individual who's filming this. You know, if I do a spot treatment on this lawn behind us, this lawn which looks pretty doggone weed free, I might add, if I do a spot treatment every 3 to 5 years, that's about what I do. And when I talk about a spot treatment, I'm not talking about going with a big spray tank on a gator or, you know, a pool behind or whatever, randomly going, you know. I'm talking about a little backpack sprayer and going like this. And I might have in this lawn 20 weeds after 3 years that I have to, and then I might not wait 3 years. I might see 10 and I might go at it a year and a half. But the point is, that's 10 little spritzes in this 20,000 square foot space here of this backyard. So why is fungal dominance so important? The more bacterial you lean, the more weed species you will have by default. It's just the way it is. That's why turf really needs to be at least 1-to-1 fungal to bacterial if you want a good result that's relatively weed free. I like to push that margin and go further than that. So who cares, right? NTrust 904 fertilizer. Who cares? Well, we already talked about it's not too dusty and it's nice to spread and it's 10 pounds per 1,000 square feet and it's very insoluble. Who cares? Well, I care because the ingredients that were chosen for this product, as with every product that we make, each ingredient is serving a purpose. Much of the time, it's driving the world we know to a fungal dominant world. And beneficial fungi, not pathogenic. And there's a difference in what biological food substrates you use for a pathogen, to grow a pathogen, versus a beneficial fungi, like Mycorrhizae, which you've seen some of our Mycorrhizae work as well. But this product leans into the fungal biological food substrate ingredients to make this product. So there's science behind this. There's real science behind this from a guy who's not so sciencey, but I digress. So this product is, and this is kind of my last piece on this certified organic 904 NTrust granular fertilizer. You can get like a 1005 from us. And a lot of people like to get that product and have in the past. I mean, that's a very popular product in its own right. But right now, because of hyperinflation caused by, we won't get into it, you know, hyperinflation and supply chain issues, which we won't get into that either. The long story short is this: Chilean nitrate, or Chilean nitrate, from the country of Chile, has spiked in price. Last year, in 5 weeks, our cost on that ingredient doubled. And that ingredient is in 1005. And so that product price has gone up to the extent that spreading that product at 7.5 pounds per 1,000 square feet in a turf situation, that product is actually, in cost per 1,000, it's actually more than this. This product is 10 pounds per 1,000 square feet, so you're using more, and you would think the cost would be more per 1,000, but it's not, because the cost of this bag is that much less, even though inflation has hit this product too. But the cost per 1,000 is less because it doesn't have that one ingredient in it. And again, that soluble ingredient, that's more of that solubility issue. So we're trying to lean away from that. And then when you go, if you decide to ever go to look at the 1005 Sequest product, which uses the Chilean nitrate, you'll learn how we like to create a more stable Chilean nitrate. And you will find that we start marrying together concepts of the soluble humate video, which you can go watch, and the soluble nitrate, Chilean nitrate, or sodium nitrate. You'll see how we start to marry these technologies, or these concepts, or these learned pieces of material where we can use them to benefit our environment, but also to benefit your growth in what you're doing. So I thank you for joining me today. This is a little bit different talk because it was about a granular fertilizer, but there's science behind this just the same. So my name's Eric Morgan. Thanks again for joining me. I do appreciate that you take the time out of your day to join us and learn with us, because we're always learning. And I hope that we can help you out sometime. And if you just want to call, you can call Organic Approach. Eric Morgan. Thanks.